I'm just about to leave Cambridge, Ontario, Canada. Just did my e-manifest online and added a comment heading empty to a certain town in Ohio to load a Caterpillar excavator and bring back. And funny enough, this machine is coming back to this town. So it's not a perfect scenario because it's the loaded miles is the same as deadhead miles, so it's 450 miles to the middle of Ohio, not too far from Columbus. So I'm still debating. Oh, actually, wait, I'm not debating where to cross, because I just did my ACE saying that I'll be crossing via Port Huron, Michigan, or Sarnia. It will be more interesting to go through Buffalo, but then you have to pay the toll on I-90. So this way it's much cheaper. And so I found that load without particularly looking. You know, what's funny is that you saw me doing 2 videos about Dodge Challenger. I've been looking forward to that upgrade, but yeah, it's a pain in the butt, you know, just to upload the tunes to the car. It's all protected. All cars after 2015, they all have password protected, encrypted PCM, so you cannot just hook up a tuner, and they don't want you to do that. And which I understand, but you know, it's my car. I paid the money for it. Why I cannot, you know, make it a bit faster and stronger, right? And so that was quite a nightmare with that computer. But again, I'm not a mechanic. I did not post this to be ridiculed. I just don't understand why so many people have just, you know, negative reactions to everything. You know, just basically, you don't have anything good to say, shut up. You know, don't watch the video if it's not in your if it's not down your alley. Like, again, I just don't understand these I'm guessing mostly retired people that have nothing better to do, that's sitting there and, oh, look, he's doing this, oh geez, look at this. Like one guy commented, it's painful to watch you do repairs. Fucking don't watch, right? Like, what's your problem? Anyway, it's like when you turn on the TV, right? You turn on the TV, like, what do? You find a channel that really annoys the heck out of you, and then you keep watching, and then you start looking on Facebook and Twitter how to get in touch with that TV channel person's in charge, and you just start doing like nasty comments. Like, why are you wasting your life? You know, you don't like it, move along, watch something that you are interested in. Like, come on. Well, I guess the problem is that a lot of people they have no idea what they're interested in, and they're just killing time. You know, they're flipping channels. Oh, look at this guy, you know, he's a total idiot, you know, lying on the sofa with a beer bottle in one hand and a Big Mac sandwich in the other, and then, how do I lose weight, you know? Anyway, don't get me started. So so how I found the load. So I was busy doing my upgrades, but on the day before I saw the posting. This guy posted a load. Well, let's get outside because it gets hot, and I'll show you, because my truck and trailer now look pretty good, right? You don't see this every day. And so I saw a nice load, and like I always say, my competitive edge is with heavy loads, right? Because I have all these axles, right? I cannot compete with people that have 35-ton trailers, right? And those loads don't pay anything. That's Transport Training Centers of Canada. Somebody wants to be a trucker. So anyway, so I always sort the loads by the weight. You know, that's how I find my best loads. I go for the heaviest ones because few people can do them, and that's how I found this one. It said the weight is 88,000 pounds. Okay, the guy posted the rate. I like the rate. I called them and they said, we already found the truck, but let me take your info in case something happens, right? And so I gave him my info, and then I found his Jesus, it's windy again. And then I found his I found their email address of this broker, and I sent him again the info. I said, we just talked, you know, here's my info, because nobody does anything by telephone anymore. It's all email. You know, it's much easier for people to have your information in writing on the email, right? And so I sent them my email, so my name, and it says, you know, equipment transport, Canada to US, US to Canada, 60-ton RGN, my phone number, and no reply. And then I was busy doing these mods on the Challenger, right? So, and I thought it would take me 2 hours. I finished at what, like 11:45, right? And then finally I got a chance to look at the load board, and I see that load is still there, right? So right away I call the guy and I say, hey, I see the load is still here. I thought you said you found a truck. And the guy says, well, something happened. That guy pulled out of this. Basically he canceled on us. You want to do it? I said, yeah, sure. And he says, we will pay you. And then he adds $400 to the rate. Like, I didn't even ask him. Like, this does not happen too often, you know, when you talk to a guy and you're ready to do a load for the X amount, and he says, well, if you want, we can pay you X plus $400. I said, yeah, of course I want. Yeah, are you kidding me? You're giving me free money. But yeah, that made it a bit better, because I told him, I said, I'm in Cambridge. I said, I'm actually in the same town where this machine is going. And so basically it's one of those cases where, you know, you hear people talk, they say, they paid me for the deadhead, right? So I did a couple of loads like this where people were nice. Like, remember that load I did to Las Vegas? I mean, from Las Vegas to Alberta, I had to go 2,600 miles to Las Vegas, and normally, you know, if you try to charge them like $2-3 a mile, nobody's gonna pay. But what I do is I charge them $1 a mile, because that covers my fuel, about 50-60 cents, and that covers my pay as a driver. And I find that, you know, that's not too obnoxious, but it does help. So if it's 1,000 miles, I charge them $1,000 US. And so in this case, this is pretty much, you know, exactly what I would normally do. But I was eager to get a load. Jesus, it's so windy. I was eager to get a load, so I was okay with the posted rate. But, you know, if the broker, you know, I guess they felt like they need to move this. I guess the customer was giving them a hard time. And so, yeah, we booked it. I sent them, they sent me the agreement. You know, that's, as an independent, that's what you always have to do, right? They send you the agreement, and while they were doing that, I punched in their MC number into my factoring company database, and the color I got was yellow, which is not good, which usually is green if they approved automatically, but yellow means approved or not approved. It's up to your representative at my factoring company. So I called them, I emailed them, and they said, yeah, based on this amount, they approved. So see, I always do it like this. I would never haul a load for somebody that I know their credit is not good unless they pay COD. And even then, I was burned by COD a couple of times, because you go to pick up money and the guy says, no, it's not $50,000, it's $2,000, you know. Oh, because the guy told me to give you this. Because, you know, the guy who pays you is not the guy who promised you the money. So it's always, unless the guy is actually there, like, let's say the broker is, I don't know, in Chicago, Illinois, right? And the load delivers in Chicago, and they say, okay, our guy is gonna meet you there, give you the cash or check, right? Then it's fine. But quite often what happens is this miscommunication, or somebody's trying to cheat, and the guy says, yeah, the consignee will pay you COD, and then it's total BS. It's different amount, you have to fight with them. So I don't like that. It's either wire, that's what I try to do. If the credit is bad, I cannot factor the load. I say, okay, you have to pay me by wire, okay? Either before delivery or upon loading. A couple of times I did it like this, like I load, they say send us a couple of pictures of the load sitting on your trailer, send us your bank info, and they send me, by the time I reach the destination, the money is in the account, and I can start doing more mods on my Challenger. Beautiful. So anyway, this time I checked, factoring company says green light, approved. The guy sends me the agreement, I sign, fill out the agreement, send it back. He sends me the rate confirmation, and basically the pickup date is open because it's it's a used excavator, right? So again, you need to notify CBP, Customs Border Protection of US, 72 hours before, right? And so they said, we're awfully sorry, but this might not be ready until you know, Thursday or something. And I said, don't worry about it. I said, I'm not in a rush. I'm just so happy to finally get a load, you know, it pays pretty good. And so they called me again and they said, oh, it looks like it's best if you pick up Friday. I said, fine. The guy's probably surprised, because normally a carrier would, you know, jump to the ceiling, but I said, you know, I don't care. I was just finishing here my stuff with a guy, and yeah, and that one more reason why we're outside now. And you see, the weather is gorgeous. Gorgeous. It's like plus 15, what is it, 60, 65 F, like perfect. Not too hot, not cold, but it's a bit chilly like this. You want to wear like a jacket. But why we're outside is because you might notice something different this time. You see, I don't have my Jeep. So this crane guy Steve made some crazy money this morning, because he came out with his little crane and he took the Jeep off. Now the Jeep is in my parking lot. I kept the booster, right? But I measured my length. If I could have used the long neck, the 83-inch long neck, but then bumper to bumper I'm 93 feet. And guess what? Both Ohio and Michigan require one escort if you're longer than 90 feet, and that would be like $1,000 easy for Ohio and Michigan, right? So this load pays good, but it doesn't pay that good so that I can throw out $1,000 US, you know. And so I told this guy Steve, I said, if you have time, would you mind just swapping the flip boxes, right? And so we didn't flip it like this. He just took this one, I mean, he took the big one, just lifted it, we hooked up cables in there, and the big one had D-rings, like 2 D-rings over here, right? So he picked it up like this, parked it in front of my Jeep in my spot, and then he picked up this one and just lowered it in here. I put the pins in, the other one are still there, and I had to disconnect the hydraulics. I'm not gonna bother about that because the weather is good, otherwise I would cover that with a rubber glove or something. And so we're gonna run like this, and then when I'm at the shipper, we'll just use the machine that I'm loading to flip this down. And this way I'll be running with the lift axle down, because you know it's 88,000 pounds. So, and then I'll move this to somewhere here. Like normally I try to go like to this spot where my fender is connected, and don't worry about this little bit of moisture. That's sometimes the oil. When you disconnect the hydraulic hoses and you flip them around, sometimes some oil comes out of them. So I don't have any leaks, everything is good. But yes, I'm gonna move it, we're gonna flip it down, we're gonna move it like this. That's the center, like somewhere here, because I have to load the front. Okay, and so over here, yeah, we're gonna be probably somewhere like here, as close as possible, so I can shoot, what is this? So I can transfer the weight to the front. And it's 11 feet wide, so I'll see how wide the tracks are. So I might need to use the boards on my outriggers, and we'll use this for the bucket. Just put it down here, and because it's 2 + 2, it means that I can load much more weight here, because Ohio gives you 46 per tandem, 92,000 pounds here, whereas on the Tridem you only get 60,000. So they only give you 20k per axle, whereas here they give you 23. So I'll try to move the machine as close as possible, maybe load it on top of here. No, I don't think that's gonna work. I'm kidding, of course, but we'll try to move it, you know, a bit off center, right? Normally I look at this light, that's where I try to position the center of the house, you know, where the pivoting point is on the big gear in the middle. But this time I'll move it past that, so I can load more stuff in there. And I didn't change anything over here. I still have medium size shim. I think it's the blue one, right? Yeah, yellow is the smallest. This is good for up to like 115,000 pounds. And then over here I didn't move anything. I still have this. I still have lots of shims. I see they even started rusting. But again, I might have a lot of weight here, so then I'll just, you know, once I'm loaded, I'll just have to change 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I'm in 6, but this is what I need for when I'm empty, right? Otherwise I cannot have too much weight in here, because then this thing will try to steer away. By the way, when does my annual inspection expires? Okay, December 20th. Okay, I think all my trailers, and this is all a trailer, right? So that's trailer 1, trailer 2, they all have their own VIN, their own plate, their own annual inspection. So 1, 2, this is another trailer, 3, and the Jeep. No, the Jeep has a different annual inspection date, because I just got it in January. But yeah, this one is the same, December 19th. I remember I did all these together, this one and those ones. So I have until December 31st to update it. And so yeah, that's what I was doing today. I was busy loading, unloading this Jeep and swapping this. And by the way, that's one of the reasons why I wanted to change trailers. You know, the neck, it really makes things so much easier when you have a neck. Like you see, like that's 101, 101 inch swing radius, basic, right? Fontaine is not building anything custom, just 101, and then they wanted to buy flip boxes, neck extensions, right? So I have two. One is 36 inch, this one, which is perfect for like a heavy load, which is perfect for a heavy load when I don't need to use the trailer. And the big one, I need that one for the Jeep, right? The problem is that I don't really need 101 plus 36, which is 136. I only need what I had on the 55 ton. That one was 23 inch, so I had 101 plus 23, 124. So let's say 125. So 125 was perfect for a heavy load, because then I can move the fifth wheel close to the truck, right? And that's what you need, you know. So you need a neck, a single piece, which is 115, 120, 125, and then on the top of that you need the extension, which you only use when you need the tandem Jeep, you know. So this way I would save at least an hour today and $100 Canadian at least, because I wouldn't have to swap the neck extensions, you know. And the new trailer, quite often it's very cheap to install hydraulics. So there's a hydraulic mechanism that flips your neck, you know. So I'm serious, it saves so much time and so much stress. So I would just keep that long neck extension always on the top, right? So if I don't need the Jeep, I just, you know, I have, let's say 120, 125 basic neck, I can move my fifth wheel as far as I want. If I have a load like this, like 88,000 pounds, right? Then if I need to use the Jeep, I drop the trailer, I start that little Honda motor, or I use my PTO, I flip the neck, and then I can hook up to the Jeep, hook up to the, you know, to the trailer. So much easier. So that's one big thing I don't like about my trailer. I love the Fontaine brand. I love the low weight, well, relatively, but they're lighter than Canadian trailers. They're strong. They're pretty strong. I cannot say stronger or weaker, but they're super strong. I'm very happy. But the neck is too short. The deck is too short. I need more than 26 in the well, and the deck is too tall. 22 inches loaded deck height is no good. But I still owe a bunch of money on the trailer, so I tried to do it earlier this year, right? Didn't work. They wouldn't give me enough money for the trade-in, and I cannot get out unless somebody pays me enough for the trailer. And the trailer is only 2 years old, so forget it. It's still good for another couple of years before it needs a really, you know, like a paint job and all that kind of stuff. But again, one cool thing about this trailer, that, so I'm not too upset about all these little drawbacks, but one cool thing is that it's a modular trailer, right? So I mentioned this before, so I can take the deck out completely, you know? So I can buy a replacement deck, and I can make the deck longer, lower, you know, like any most manufacturers. So it doesn't have to be Fontaine, but most manufacturers will build a replacement deck, and it's a pretty doable financially, because I can sell this, because my deck is only 2 years old, right? So let's say if I decide I want a deck which is 28 feet long and maybe a drop side rail like 14, 15 inches on the sides, you know, which would be perfect for big loads, then I can get that one for like 30 grand Canadian, and then I can sell this one, let's say, for 10,000. So then I'm only on the hook for 20,000 Canadian, 14 US, which is still way cheaper than buying a new trailer, you know. But they're just for the future. For the future, lots of options, right, with this trailer. So we'll just keep trucking, and now with the winters coming, I'll have less load, so I need to make some money now before everything slows down. And this will be interesting, because this is going to be the first time I did 2+2 in the back and a long neck in the front, but I never did it like this, a 36-inch flip box and 2+2, because some people might say that 2+2, it'll push too much weight forward and it can overload the truck, because that's what happens when you have a booster. The booster always pushes weight forward. So 3+1, 2+2, doesn't matter, but because the axles are way up over there, right? So the truck gets more weight than, let's say, if you have just 4 axles in the back. Anyway, okay, so I got my passport, I got my e-manifest printed, I know where I'm going. So today I just want to get to Michigan, get across the border, take it easy, because again, it's only 450 miles. If I get to the border, from the border, that place is like 350 miles, and I'm loading Friday morning, so, which is perfect. I like to take it easy like this. I like when they don't push me. I hate when there's like a rush, and when they always, oh, you have to send us a text message by 9 a.m. every morning, or, you know, email or call us. And so I already made a broker happy, you know. I already sent him a bunch of updates just to make sure that, you know, they know I'm coming, right? So I said, hey, I've just talked to the guy over there at the shipper. It's a cat dealer, I confirmed the VIN, I confirmed the machine is there, and we told him to clean the tracks, must be clean to cross the border, and he says, yeah, we're finishing the cleanup process, and we agreed. I said, you guys open at 8? Because that's what my paperwork said, and he says, no, actually we open at 7. I said, okay, so I'll be there first thing in the morning, but probably not 7, maybe like 7:30. So the plan is to sleep at the border today on the US side, and then tomorrow move out, do this 350 miles, get as close as possible to the shipper, and just find a truck stop somewhere there and shut down, and then Friday morning move out. And again, this is gonna be like a, you know, easy load, because Waterloo police. So over here they all drive Ford SUVs, and they're dark blue and white. Dark blue and white. Nice looking trucks, you know. And I saw him passing before. I parked here, and we're like a downtown in New Cambridge, so to speak, and I went to check my mailbox, picked up some mail, and then I went across the street to McDonald's, and I had my favorite carnivore diet lunch. This time I had 11 beef patties, and of course they look like you like this. You want what? I said beef patties. Just add some, you know, diced grilled onions. Said no bread, nothing. So she just gives me this plastic plate, and I feel so full, like I ate, I don't know, pol barashka, you know, half a cow. That's why you see me so talking like crazy, like I'm intoxicated. I just had this very big meal, you know, and I feel super happy. As they say in Russian, you know, prosi cho khosh. I'm in good mood. I have the load. I modded my car, and somebody asked me for a quote. Sergey, we got a machine over here in you know, near Baltimore. It needs to go to Vancouver, BC. Holy moly. And it's like 90,000 pounds, and it's a tricky load, because as soon as you enter BC, you need a Jeep, right? You need a Jeep. Well, even like 90,000 pounds, it's already kind of like getting there, because I cannot use my lift axle. So you need a single axle Jeep. I don't have a single axle Jeep, so I'll have to bring tandem Jeep, and I would be 107 feet long. And so from Maryland to Vancouver, if you go through US, it's going to be murder in terms of permits and escorts. And so of course you would have to go through Canada. And I told them what I would do is I would leave the Jeep at home here in Cambridge, just go down there like this, 2+2 with a short neck, pick up that machine, bring it to Cambridge, swap necks, hook up the Jeep, and then go through Canada. And of course when you go from Alberta, you cannot cross on Highway 1. You have to go through Highway 16, which adds a bunch of miles. You know, it's a very long trip, and it's mountains over there, so you need to carry chains by law, because they can stop you and ask you, hey, where's your chains? So I don't know. So I gave him a quote. Just pull a number from my calculator, and I figured permits would cost like 5 grand, 6 grand. So I don't want to do it, you know, because then you end up in Vancouver. There's no loads over there. I'd have to stay there probably for a few weeks and do like local stuff, like Washington, BC, you know, Alberta, BC, stuff like that. But there's won't be, I guarantee, there's not going to be a load going back east, you know. It's just very hard for me to get out of Western Canada. So that's why, you know, when people ask me for a quote, I make sure I quote enough so I'll have some money for the fuel and stuff like that, you know, set aside in that rate. All right, what's the time now? $2:34. All right. So the plan now is stop in London at the Flying J. I got 200 liters of diesel in over here in Cambridge, but it was like $1 Canadian per liter. I wasn't too happy about that, but I just got some because I was getting low. So, but I know in Smith Creek, Michigan, it'll be super cheap. So I'm gonna get full tanks full over there. Usually the price over there is, I think last time I was there, it was like $2.19 US per gallon. Not sure what it is now, but I know it's way cheaper than over here. But the only problem is they don't sell DEF at the pump. So they sell DEF at those boxes, which cost, you know, $10 for 3 gallons, which is crazy. And so I'm gonna stop. There's a couple of truck stops here on the way to US. Okay, where's over here? No, not this one. London. Yeah, this one. Flying J Travel Center. Okay. I'm gonna stop that one. That's 1 hour from.
Head north on Collier McMillan Drive towards Sheldon Drive.
So that's 97 kilometers or 60 miles. And then I'm gonna go in, get DEF, and get to the border. So I have the paperwork. All I have to do is just okay, let me make sure I got my wallet, because I'll have to pay the toll at the bridge there, right? Because it's all okay. I got it. Because it's a toll bridge.